I've had two very pleasant encounters and interactive sessions with Senior Minister Lee Hsien Loong over the years. The first one was way back in 1998 as a very young 19-year-old Polytechnic student participant of the Polytechnic Forum. So back then what we were supposed to do is we were supposed to come up with ideas on how to make society better. It can be anything at all, whether it's for seniors, whether it's for kids, whether it's for just a general population. So there are various groups that came up with very different scenarios on current affairs at that point in time. So we were supposed to work in groups. So in my group, I was telling them, okay, I have this idea. And back then I was already interested in therapy. So I was telling them, hey, maybe we could teach students even as young as Sec 1, so 12 or 13-year-old, how to do therapy like acupressure, and then maybe we can teach them also a little bit about how they can design their own artifacts or home stuff, and maybe how they can maybe become like a personal trainer. You know, some of them like to do fitness. Maybe they have aspirations of becoming a PE teacher or personal trainer. And all of them started laughing at me, my teammates, telling me, hey, you mean you want to teach 12-year-old massage techniques? They started laughing at me. I was thinking, oh my goodness, I'm quite embarrassed about this. Maybe it wasn't a good idea after all. So during the Polytechnic Forum, there was a session where then he was the Deputy Prime Minister, Lee Hsien Loong. But on the day of the observation and visitation, he was the acting Prime Minister because on that day, Mr. Goh Chok Tong was on overseas assignment. So Mr. Lee Hsien Loong came around and he walked around to ask us how we were doing and asked me, hey, what's your idea? And I was saying, oh yeah, I had this great idea. I was thinking we should bring various special courses to students. I say, what courses do you mean? I say, oh, teach them how to do therapy and teach them how to become a chef, how to become a trainer. He says, oh, that's a good idea. Tell me more. It took about a minute to explain to him. Okay, maybe for Sec 1 students, let's have an after-school session where we teach them an hour on certain therapy or whatever that they're interested in. Make this like a special kind of session for them, in addition to their CCA. So he was listening intently. Whenever I was speaking for the entire minute, he was just listening. And then he looked at me occasionally. He says, it's a very interesting idea. I shall bring this up to my education minister. We shall look into it. Thank you very much. So as a young boss, it was quite a privilege and it was quite an honor to share my idea. So I was thinking, okay, maybe this was just his way of making me feel good, making a young man, be more courageous to speak up and share ideas. That was what I was thinking. But a few months later, I found out that the government did form like an education committee to bring special courses to secondary school students. And about 3 or 4 years later, they rolled out what they call elective modules that they are known today. This means like bringing interesting courses or career benefit courses to secondary school students to give them a head start. And these range from therapy, beauty therapy, airline services, handphone repair. It's also like technical skills, personal training, hospitality. So they get like a head start when they are in Sec 2, Sec 3s. So by the time they are in Sec 4s and they already have in mind what they would like to pursue as a career option, they already have some background knowledge or a little bit of a foundation of what they would like to pursue, maybe in Polytechnic or in ITEs. So I was so heartened to know that just like a small 2-minute conversation with then Deputy Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong turned out to be something that impacted the education system. So these days when I go to school and I see elective modules being done, I'm so proud and honored that, a person who's actually shared a very simple, I thought was a seemingly simple idea, It's made a big impact. And a lot of students have been telling me, oh, they look forward to their courses in elective modules. Like, oh, this is the thing that gets them excited. Why? Because it's something that they would like to pursue. So it's an interest. So when the interest is something, they really put their heart and soul into learning it well. So I feel very heartened. The second interaction with Senior Minister Lee Hsien Loong was in 2006, when I was actually already starting to do a little bit of trainings. At that point in time, I was already studying for my psychology degree, but I was still helping other enrichment companies to develop courses. During one of my vacation period, I had an email and request from then, I think it was the Education Minister, Mr. Heng Swee Keat, who was actually tasked with organizing like a train the trainers kind of modules. He knew about me because I went to one of the I think it was the residence committee function to organize like a therapy. I think it was a laughter therapy session. So he knew me from there, and from there he got this secretary to contact me to find out if I'm interested to help out developing train the trainer modules, because he knew that I had training background. So I met up with a team, and eventually they asked me, is it okay if you come up with the trainer modules, so how to train others well, certain principles, and also developing the courseware. So I was glad to be a part of that 6 months project. And after that 6 months project, what was launched was a few days. It took a while for them to remodify it, and it came out even about a couple of years later. They launched what they call ACTA course, Advanced Certificate in Training and Learning. I think these days they call it ACPL. So they modified the name, but it's basically a train the trainer kind of module. So I'm so glad that suggestions have been like taken into account and even implemented. So my takeaway advice for everyone is, if you have a suggestion, even an idea, no matter how far-fetched or maybe incredible it might seem, always put the ideas across, because you can never know when it might make a very huge impact. Like, see, for me as a 90-year-old student, with just a simple thought of my interest, which was therapy, came up with many ideas, and eventually others benefit. So if you have an idea, share it with others. Share it at reach sessions, or share it with any kind of community-based events, or even in your school. Share it at any kind of dialogue. You can never know who it might impact. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.